That's my beat.
You did a good job on that. I just
Yeah.
want you to know I like all your music.
I like all my music too. Hey man, thank y'all for joining in and watching us today on the
Yeah.
Holistic Cannabis Show with your host, Dr. Yolanda Henderson and Mr. Normal Henderson, myself.
Yeah.
You can call in live 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sundays. Telephone number can be reached at 470-251-4647. And I might as well go ahead and
Go
tell
on
you
and
how
tell
you
me
watch
what
the
happened. You done told them who the hostess
Y'all know.
was and
I know.
everything like that. I want to introduce myself.
I'm gonna let you introduce yourself. We got some fantastic guests here with us today. All right. So check this out. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this so I can get out y'all way. If you sitting in front of your laptop right now, you can go www.google and in that Google type in statusnetwork.net. Bang. You're gonna find out a whole lot of stuff about the Holistic Cannabis Show and Manifest TV. Check this out. Instagram. If you're on Instagram, you can check us out at Instagram Manifest TV.status. If you're on Facebook, Status Network LLC. If you're on Periscope, you can find us at status_network_. If you're on Twitterer, all right. Somebody sent me a message and said I be saying it wrong. So if you're a Twitterer, you can status_network_, and you're gonna find us right there. You went to Walmart and bought you a Roku stick or a Fire Stick or something like that. Guess what? Manifest TV with an app already preloaded in there. We're on top of it now. We're on top of the world. You know what I'm saying? YouTube, Manifest TV.
That's it.
Look for the Holistic Cannabis Show.
That's it.
You'll see your boy and your girl on there.
There you go.
You'll see me on there like this.
Yes.
Feel my move right here.
Yes, that is.
All right.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction. You did very good. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us today for another episode of the Holistic Cannabis Show. We do have some special guests today. Mrs. Robin Huff is with us with Higher Power with CBD, and she's going to talk a little bit about her brand and how wonderful it is. She was able to send us some wonderful samples, and I am still thrilled about that. So thank you, Mrs. Robin. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us. Everybody is going to see you all over the world. Tell them who you are and how you got started with this wonderful product that you sent to me. And it was so wonderfully packaged and everything was nice and beautiful. And just like you, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. My name is Robin Huff, owner of Higher Power with CBD. And thank you for having me on. We are a CBD brand really catering to the needs of women. I got started in this business where I was introduced to CBD about 4 years ago following a car accident. And I kind of chose not to take all the prescription meds that the doctors were writing me, sleeping pills, muscle relaxers, everything. I had a Ziploc bag full of nothing but samples and prescriptions. I was introduced to CBD and I started using it, and it really changed my life. To do something more natural and more holistic for things like pain and sleep, it's so much better. What I did was I spent about a year and a half, almost 2 years, researching products, testing products. We've gone to trade shows, the whole 9 yards, to put something together that I thought women could really benefit from. I wanted to give a variety. We have products for hormones. We have products for sleep. We definitely have two products. One is a roll-on. One is a cream for pain. We have tea. We have honey. Definitely we have gummies. And then we have things like bath bombs, and I probably left something out, but that's kind of the gambit to introduce people to the CBD. CBD is a cannabinoid, pronouncing it horribly. It's in the same family as a marijuana plant, but it's not the marijuana plant. CBD does not get you high. THC affects the brain. CBD affects more the core organs of the body, like heart, lungs, liver, and so on. So this is why it has the benefits that it does to, affect things like anxiety and sleep and definitely pain and inflammation.
Awesome.
Yeah, any questions?
No, that is wonderful. You know what? I love the bath bomb. So we were, you sent over the nice bath bombs, and we got some CBD gum. There you go. Yes, and you
There's
made those
you.
yourself. You made that.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, that's awesome. And then the gummies, did you have those formulated as well? The whole
Yeah.
spectrum?
And I do have to tell you, all of these products, they have to be tested. They're tested for chemicals. They're tested third party. That's what I mean to say. They're tested for chemicals like pesticides and herbicides. And they're also tested for the amount of THC
Right.
that's in them. So it has to not have any THC in there.
Okay.
And that's part of the third party testing to go to a lab to make sure everything is legit. We believe, and I believe, that you don't have to get high to get healthy.
Exactly.
And I know THC has its place, definitely, and I think you don't really have to sell that because people kind of know what THC is and what they want it for. CBD is so new and so different that people really almost need a little bit more education for, why would I buy this and what do I need this for? And I can tell you definitely pain, because I had back and hip and headaches and things like that. It's not like a lot of the over-the-counter things, that was the reason I really wanted to gear things for women, because women are actually the biggest consumer of pain medicine, at least over the counter. And we're taking it for everything, headaches and our cycles and, all kinds of issues.
Wow.
And over a long-term use of any pain medicine, it's going to have some side effects.
Right.
And this has no side effects.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks for sharing. Now, how can our viewers be able to order from you or come to your store, or where are you located?
We're all online. Totally online. We may in the near future do some pop-ups, but that I'll announce. You can reach me at Higher Power with CBD, and you can see all of our products, read the ingredients, and if there's something you're confused about, you definitely can DM me, ask the question, and do your homework too. You can look up CBD online, what it's good for, look at some of the videos if you're totally not aware of what it's good for. But definitely you can reach out to me at Higher Power with CBD. And our Instagram is definitely Higher Power also with CBD. And I just want to say one small thing. We have a small gift box. I don't know if this is showing up backwards or what. In this box, it's one of the bath bombs, one each of our teas that you can try. There's a mint, there's chamomile, green tea, one each of the teas as a sample, and also a full size gummy.
Yes, that's what I got. Yes.
Yeah, and so that's kind of a good introduction, and we want to, offer this to your viewers for $50. And we'll get this, and this is going to be limited quantities, so we'll mail this out, and you can just DM me, kind of bypass, the whole system of ordering. And if you do that and mention this show, we can give you the special price, because if you went online, you're definitely going to see a different price and probably have to pay for shipping. So we'll handle the shipping, and we want to offer this to your guests. And this will be $50. And like I said, if you go online to Higher Power with CBD, in our
wow.
Instagram. You can just message me and tell me that you saw this online, and we'll get it to you, or anything else that you see that you may want.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That's what we
Thank
like.
you.
We love our guests to be able to give out samples and just show us how it is, how it works, because some people are very they're like,
Yeah.
kind of iffy about CBD products because we
They
don't
don't know
never
what it
know.
is. Yeah.
People are-
Education is powerful,
Exactly.
and I just want to reach out and have the message that, if anything, to try to be, some type of messenger, to relay what this product is, what it can benefit. I use everything, the body oil, the body butters, the bath bombs, everything. And I am my own customer. And just want to say, I know women like to look good from head to toe, but we need to get healthier. Health is, if you're healthy, you can do more, you can accomplish more, you can dream bigger, you can be sexier, so
yes.
health is important.
There you go. I appreciate it. Mr. Henderson, do you have anything to say? Or ask?
Would you have considered using a CBD product if you were talking to your self from 20 years ago?
No, never heard of the word. It is that new. What happened was the government passed a law that they were going to allow hemp to be legal in 2018. Mm-hmm. Hemp was put in the same category as marijuana. Mm-hmm. Now, hemp was one of the main products or crops that was actually grown in this country that they don't mention. And they used it for rope, they used it for clothing, they used it for the sails for the ships to come get us. They used it for everything, and cotton didn't come along until later on. Mm-hmm. So hemp but what the government did with marijuana, they just lumped both of them together. So the word CBD was just foreign, and they've run many tests. Israel is one of the top countries that has run multiple tests on CBD, the benefits, also THC too, but definitely CBD.
Oh, okay.
I wish I would have known about it.
I know.
20 years ago, it would have stopped me from buying all of that stuff over the counter. And a lot of over the counter things, I don't know if people know this, but at some point in time, it's going to affect your liver and your kidneys.
You're right.
And a lot of those pain medicines, it makes lazy bowels. So you find a lot of people, especially women, and they're constantly saying they can't go to the bathroom. So you're chasing a pill because of another pill.
Yep. Awesome. That is so true. Thank you. Thank you so much, Robin. I appreciate all that you have told our viewers, and hopefully they will order some things from you. Yes. You said that our viewers will get the whole box with the CBD teas. I know you had some sample teas, and you had the gummies, and you had the bath bomb.
Bath bombs.
Bath bombs. There was like two bath bombs. Yes. Right. They're the bomb. I tried them.
Well, yeah, y'all better go out there and get them, man. Go out there and get them.
Exactly. So your the way to contact you is DM you on Instagram, correct?
Yes. Okay. Because, and I'm saying the Instagram because then I know they're your guests,
they're my guests,
your customers,
awesome.
And then I can respond to them with a special price. Otherwise, they're going to see a different price, and I want to offer them something special, and then we'll handle the postage for this.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
And we hope to get you back on the show in the future. We're also going to be at the USA Hemp or CBD Expo. So if you're going to come out and want to come, now you're in Arizona.
We're in Arizona, yeah.
Okay.
The show that we did out in Vegas. I did notice that
you
there's
did
one
do that
coming
one. Up. Okay, well, hopefully maybe you can fly out and share booths with me.
Okay, fun.
All right. Well, you have a great rest of the day, and we will be in contact with you shortly.
Thank you much. Thank you for
have a great rest of the day.
me.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
All right. So you all saw and heard here. Higher Power with CBD is a wonderful company. Please go out, order your product. He's giving a discount for watching the show. So you heard it here. All right. So up next, we're going to bring on our nephew all the way from Dallas, Texas, or Arlington, Texas, or Fort Worth, Texas, one of the other, all of Dallas. So he actually was able to conduct a paper on the legalization of cannabis. So we all know that Texas is getting ready to do some things with cannabis and marijuana, and they went to the students and asked the students what their stance was, and he's going to quickly read his story about cannabis and CBD. All right, so we'll get him on after this. So we got my son as well, Mr. Drill Williams, who wants to tag along and talk about and ask his cousin some questions about his experience with his paper on the hemp and CBD legalization. So we're going to let them converse as well because they're around the same age and they can actually get a chance to experience how to talk on the show. There he is. How are you, Mr. McPhail? How are you today?
Hey, I'm good. Thank you for having me on the show.
Good. Now
that boy got a mustache and a beard, man. Is you driving the car, man?
Awesome. Can you turn your phone sideways for me? There you are.
Now you got a bigger picture. Yeah. Now I can really see your mustache and
there
your beard.
You go. And all of that good hair. Look at that hair. All right. So tell me, Mr. McPhail, can I call you Mr. McPhail or do you want me to call you William?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Either is fine.
Tell all of our viewers what happened with you in the paper that you wrote for the school.
So it was actually my biology class. We had an assignment to write. It's basically an argument paper about whether we think that states should legalize marijuana or keep it illegal. Because in some states it's legal and in others it's like highly criminalized, and like Texas.
So tell our viewers how old you are.
I'm 17. I'm currently a junior in high school. But I'm taking college classes.
You're taking college classes. That's awesome. So you're doing like the dual college and high school at the same time, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is so commendable. That's awesome, nephew. All right.
Thank you.
So tell us about your paper and what your stance on the legalization of cannabis.
I do think it should be legalized. There's a lot of, it was initially banned because of racism and xenophobia, and there are other substances that are much more addictive and can leave you worse off than cannabis. You want me to start reading my paper now?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear what you had to say.
Cannabis has been ostracized and misrepresented since the early 20th century, even though it has been used as a healing herb for many different cultures from Asia, Africa, and eventually the Americas. Cannabis still has many medical benefits, and its recreational use is as addictive as a coffee at Starbucks, not to mention substances much worse than cannabis are legal and in regular use. States should legalize cannabis because it was initially banned because of racism, and it is not as bad as other illegal substances. The cannabis demand grew in America after it was introduced in Chile in 1545. Cannabis has been included in many different cultures dating back to before Christ. Oh, I don't think I'm being. I'm sorry if y'all can't see me. I'm reading it off my phone, and I don't think.
Okay.
My bad.
That's fine.
Cannabis was initially illegal in 1937 due to racism and xenophobia. Cannabis in the early 20th century was not seen how we see it now. It was not smoked as much. Hemp fiber were made from cannabis sativa and used in clothing, rope, paper, and other things. After the Mexican Revolution in 1910, many Mexicans started moving to the States and brought with them their tradition of smoking cannabis. Xenophobes, afraid of the influx of Mexican immigrants, made fabricated claims about the effects of cannabis while also replacing the term cannabis with marijuana. With the rumor spreading, laws were beginning to pass banning the drug. Scientists of the time said the drug had no harmful effects, but Harry J. Anslinger, head of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics, ignored them and continued the exile of marijuana and the people who used it. During his heavily racist campaign to ban the drug on a federal level, Amy Tikkanen, writer and general corrections manager for Britannica for over 2 decades, says Anslinger claimed most marijuana smokers were minorities, including African Americans. He claimed it was making these degenerate races insane, even going as far as to say reefers make darkies think they're as good as white men. He also claimed it was making white women sleep with black men. This and other means of propaganda resulted in the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937, making the drug illegal. This act was declared unconstitutional in 1969, but was replaced with the Controlled Substance Act of 1970. The criminalization of cannabis and racism against minorities resulted in the aid of Jim Crow laws that imprisoned black people 4 times as much as white people, while they both had the similar usage rates. Too many communities and families have been affected by the racism and xenophobia that used to go on. If this country no longer supports those beliefs, why are we still upholding the laws they put in place? Legalizing what should not have been legal in the first place is a step in the right direction. The National Institute of Drug Abuse says when someone is high, the THC that is in cannabis overactivates certain parts of the brain. Symptoms of cannabis include slurred speech, drowsiness, vomiting, diarrhea, upset stomach, headaches, breathing difficulties, distorted vision and hearing, impaired judgment, decreased perception and coordination, unconsciousness, anemia, coma, and blackouts. These are actually the short-term effects of alcohol, which has a $70 billion industry in the US alone. The long-term effects of alcohol include unintentional injuries such as car crashes, falls, burns, drowning, intentional injuries such as firearm injuries, sexual assault, domestic violence, increased on-the-job injuries, and loss of productivity, increased family problems, broken relationships, alcohol poisoning, high blood pressure, stroke, other heart-related diseases, liver disease, and nerve damage. The actual symptoms of cannabis include altered senses, memory, impaired movement, and reduced problem-solving skills. Cannabis is addictive and can be abused, but you can say this about anything. Anything that makes you happy can be abused, and one can argue it's addictive. Cannabis is as addictive as caffeine. We know caffeine is addictive, but we have not banned Starbucks and criminalized their customers. The American Addiction Center says cocaine is the most addictive drug, followed by heroin, alcohol, nicotine, and methamphetamine. I have already discussed alcohol, but nicotine is in cigarettes. You can buy a pack of nicotine for as low as $3. The 4th most addictive drug can be bought for $3. Methamphetamine has a long history of negative side effects and can only be given to patients with ADHD. The average age of ADHD patients is 7 years old. The 5th most addictive drug is being prescribed to kids, but adults can face jail time for having cannabis on their person. Cannabis is still addictive and can cause negative effects on the brain and body. But if the initial reason we banned the drug in the first place was racist and we have worse drugs legalized, why is it still criminalized? Cannabis should be legal. Given all the facts, there is no reason to have cannabis criminalized and illegal. It has been 84 years of minorities being jailed and dehumanized for smoking something that leaves them better off than nicotine, alcohol, and methamphetamine.
Oh, right. That's my nephew. Woo! Good job. So what was the response? That's what I'm waiting to hear. Right. What was the response? What did your teacher say?
A lot of my peers and teachers, they all agreed with my paper, and they all liked that I inserted the history and racism, that because not a lot of people even knew that all this racism and xenophobia even happened, and that's why it's illegal in the first place.
Exactly. That is amazing. Gerald, ask your cousin some questions.
So, like, what do you think, some of the facts that were stated in the past, you knew a good amount, or did you really have to dig deep into online, to find?
I knew it was banned because of racism, but I didn't know the exact details of like who and like what exactly was being said to criminalize Black people. So I did have to do a lot of research to like look into and see who and like how it was happening.
Right. And did you call your auntie?
And I also I let my mom. I read it to my mom, and then she suggested that I let my aunt, who is a cannabis professional, listen to it. And you gave me some tips and said I'd come on the show.
Yes, and you did so well. I'm proud of you, nephew, and I thank you for coming on the show and by Zoom, and hopefully you can fly out here and come and see your auntie and your cousins, or we can come to Dallas and see you over the summer. But tell us what you got going on for school. What college you plan on going to?
I'm looking at really the colleges in Texas, like Baylor, Texas Wesleyan, UTA is really close. The University of Dallas Baptist, that seems like a good school. But it's really wherever I can get cheapest, really.
Oh, no, I think you're going to get some really good scholarships. You're a very bright young man, and look to the hills, because God got some great things in store for you. Keep doing what you're doing, and keep your grades up, and keep your mommy proud of you. All right?
I will.
All right. So thanks for watching the show, and to all of our viewers, thanks for tuning in to Mr. McFowl in Dallas, Texas, and we're going to see you next time.
Young William.
Thank you.
All right.
Goodbye, young William.
All right. Did you have any question? Wait, before we leave, Mr. Henderson, did Mr. Henderson want to ask you a question?
Sure. What kind of studies are you trying to pursue?
I want to go into law. I want to be a lawyer, and I want to help out, our community, because the criminalization of weed and like all these, there's like weed is not the only thing that is imprisoning us. So I want to be an ally to our people and help them in court.
There you go. That's
any
awesome.
kind of specialty law thing you want to go into, like civil law, or
right. I'm looking at criminal justice, but I'll be taking more classes to deepen my understanding of what exactly will be the best for my goal.
All right.
A defense attorney.
A defense attorney, like a public defender, defending people who are needing their records expunged or getting out of prison or jail because of laws. Right.
People who are still casualties of that.
Yes, they said casualties of war. This has been a drug on war.
Yeah, it's good to have somebody that's got a different perspective on it. And that perspective don't always have to come from an older person.
Yes.
The next generation coming up gotta be that one.
Yes.
It gotta be.
Y'all gotta do it.
Y'all gotta be one, man. That takes with an awesome responsibility.
That's right.
propel the people to the future.
That's right. That's right.
All right? Keep your head up.
All right.
All right, then, young William.
Talk to you later. All
All right,
right.
thank you.
All right, so y'all heard Mr. McPhail here on the Holistic Cannabis Show, and he's a student over in Texas. And we have with us my own son, who is a student as well, and we want to get his perspective as well, and let him tell us what he thinks about cannabis and how he thinks it works for the body. And what do you think?
Of course.
Wait, first introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Joe Junior. I go to school at MLK High School here in Lithonia. And I play football, varsity football. It's my sophomore year, so still I had a great freshman year. I'm still learning the ropes, but this point I'm pretty comfortable, and I'm still having fun.
There you go. Awesome, awesome. So tell us, that's right. So tell us what you think about the legalization of cannabis. What have you learned about cannabis and why you think it should be?
First, I want to say it's from I learned from my mom. She's really come up with the ranks so quickly. It could be less than a year gone by. She's learning so much and helping so many people out. And my information.
What do you think about the legalization? It being legalized.
I think cannabis should be legal.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Having that, to be legalized is a big part of helping our society. Because it's in many pieces, and being on that side of society where you're just helping over and over again, that can really upbring, a lot of lives, a lot of families.
So, and does it help with what kind of things did it help with? Do you know of?
I know it helps, with illnesses and disorders that we go through, and our families, suffer through yearly. I believe that if we keep it up, we keep striving to legalize it throughout the United States, I think we can have an understanding. Give everyone an understanding of what it is.
Right,
because many
educated.
people use it in many different ways, and this way that what we're trying to do, I think it'll give us, maybe a winning chance. Yes, a winning chance. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me.
So a winning chance, yeah.
A winning chance, to legalize it and have a more balanced society.
There you go, a balanced society. I think that's awesome. That's what we need. That is exactly what we need. And you haven't been on the show before. Your brothers and sisters has been on the show. So I said, well, you know what? I better invite G on the show. He is the only one. Well, one of the only ones. We still got one more left. We got to bring them all on the show. So you heard it here. You heard it from teenagers. Tell them how old you are.
I'm 16.
16 years old. We had 16 and your cousin 17 years old. So they're the future. They're the ones who are going to actually be around for this transition. They're going to be the ones who's going to make this thing legal because they're going to vote for it. Whether we like it now or later, it's going to come, and it's not just us talking about this. It's not me and Mr. Henderson coming up with the idea or the education or the facts about cannabis being legalized. We have younger generations who are doing the research, becoming educated, and this is high school that they're doing this in. So whether they want to legalize it or keep sending our young black boys to jail, or our families and tearing them apart, they're going to have to do something and do something quick. And if People don't like it. Like I said, it's going to happen, whether it's CBDs and you're thinking about only CBD products, or you're thinking about hemp or cannabis, THC. It's going to happen one day. And so big shout out to Texas, who is actually have this on the ballot, right, Mr. Henderson?
They do.
All right. So shouts
It's a
out.
race right now.
All right. What you think gonna happen?
Texas gonna smoke them. Texas gonna smoke everybody else that's not.
There you go. It says, yeah.
Texas, if Texas was to come in on legalization, Texas is the second largest state in North America behind California.
That's right.
If Texas does that, that's the second largest market for cannabis space in North America, between under Canada and above Mexico. And from coast to coast, Texas takes you 24 hours to travel across, 24 hours to travel up and down. Texas is situated in an oil country. Texas is also on the coast. Texas wins by the legalization of cannabis.
There you go.
Texas will win.
There you go. Yep, I think it will. All right. So it says here, Texas House lawmakers advance medical marijuana expansions. They also they're helping out with the penalties and also say reduction measures. So members of the Texas House of Representatives voted to advance multiple pieces of legislation related to expanding access to low THC medical cannabis and reducing marijuana possession penalties. So y'all hear what's going on. They're trying to get this going to help stop the penalties and to allow the legalization. So the first bill, which is House Bill 2593, received approval from House lawmakers Wednesday. The measure would reduce the penalty of possession up to 2 ounces of THC concentrates from a felony to a Class B misdemeanor, all right, which could carry jail time. It could still carry the jail time. So it's still iffy, you know, it could be better, you know, but it's a step towards the right direction. So separately, House Bill 1535 was approved by House members on Thursday, which would significantly expand the Texas Compassion Use Program, the state's low THC medical cannabis access law. The measure would allow physicians to recommend cannabis or medical cannabis to patients with cancer, chronic pain, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Wow, they have went from just epilepsy to 3 more, qualifying conditions. So that's wonderful. As well as raise the cap on THC from 0.5 to 5%. So they will have actual cannabis medicinal in Texas if this goes through and crosses over and is signed by Governor Abbott, and that's his name?
I think dual use cannabis too.
Yes, he is in a wheelchair. Yes, so Texas, I'm just so proud of y'all right now. So it says House lawmakers also approved a third piece of legislation on Friday, which is House Bill 441. This measure would reduce the penalty for the possession of up to 1 ounce of marijuana from a Class B misdemeanor, punishable by large fines and potential jail time, to a Class C misdemeanor, punishable by a fine only and no possibility of jail time. So HB 441 would also reduce penalties for over 1 ounce of marijuana possession to a Class B misdemeanor and establish a process for expunging past records. All 3 measures now head to Senate for further consideration. Woo! I guess we shouldn't celebrate too quick, but we hope that Senate will come to grips with what's going on here. And you all heard it from Texas student, Mr. McFall, here on the Holistic Cannabis Show, and he read why cannabis should be legalized. And I think that was a brilliant topic, and they are looking at that. If they had a teacher to ask the students, then they're looking at our students there in Texas as well. So Georgia, y'all look at what's going on, and we'll try to get this, crossed across the world, across the U.S. to expand the marijuana laws and make them more lenient for those who consume, need it, and they are not medical doctors. I have said that before, or naturopathic doctors who actually are the studiers of herbs and supplements and things of that nature. So Mr. Henderson, what's up? What you got?
Gerald, you said that you play sports at the school you go to, right?
Yes, sir.
What position you play?
I play linebacker, running back.
All
What's your
right.
favorite part about playing linebacker?
I like playing linebacker because I get to, be far away from the ball, but still being able to encounter it and then play.
Any particular colleges, areas, regions?
Been looking at college in Texas called Baylor, and when I was small, I also went to in elementary school. I went on a field trip to I think it was a Texas can't remember, but it was a pretty nice, campus that I
UNT.
visited. I think
UNT.
UNT? Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah.
Horn frogs.
Yeah, the Horn Frogs.
I visited there and had a pretty good introduction. So, Texas is, where I grew up at. So, it's not Baylor. Yeah, it's not Baylor.
Baylor.
We'll see about any other.
Any other degree programs that you're interested
I'm looking
in?
at computer science, engineering, programming. I'd like to do more than just, program video games. It could be security systems. It could be, I could even, hack into things for people. Legally hack.
Legally
to
hack.
help.
Security.
Yes.
All right.
Don't y'all be acting like this is weird, man, because the government do look for hackers. How you think they catching these folks?
That's right. The CIA, the FBI, all of
Get dirty to catch dirty.
There you go.
Scratching you the
Oh gosh. Oh my goodness.
Appreciate you for being on the show.
Yes.
Man, good show, buddy.
Yes.
All right, good luck on all your future endeavors and everything.
That's
Playing
right.
football.
That's right.
Being the head of security.
Head of security. Cyber security.
Cybersecurity.
All right, so we have a quick video. We're going to take this break, and after this, Mr. Henderson is going to talk about a little bit about what his credit tip for the day is, and we're going to be out of here. All right, right after this. All right, there you have it. We had Mr. Williams on and Mr. William McPhail, and we had Mrs. Huff of Higher Power CBD. No, Mr.
That's
Henderson.
good guest today.
We did. We had a lot of wonderful guests. So, Mr. Henderson, you have a credit tip for us?
I got a credit tip right here. Okay, check this out. So far we done talked about late payments, what happened when you're late. We talked about the anatomy of a credit report, what a credit report looks like, what's all contained in a credit report. All right, real quick. Now, last weekend we briefly touched on trade lines. All right, we talked about primary trade lines. We talked about secondary trade lines. All right, from last week, just to recap what we talked over last week, primary trade lines are trade lines in which you go and submit the application yourself. The other way is secondary trade lines. Secondary trade lines are trade lines that you have been added to that actually belong to someone else. Those type of trade lines only subscribe to authorized userships. Your mama, your daddy, your grandmama, your sister, your cousin, everybody got good credit card. You go tell them to add you on as an authorized user. Authorized user, you're gonna receive the full benefits as the primary card holder when you get that benefit as an authorized user. When you sign on, you will inherit all of the credit profile for that strong family member who has strong credit. So now, if anybody out there is interested in obtaining a trade line or learning more info about trade lines, authorized users, feel free to reach out to us, www.nthcredit@gmail.com.
Gmail.com.
My website on the internet is www.nthcredit.net.
That's right.
All right, 888-959-2093. Holla at your boy.
All right. All right. So we have some photos of the week of what's going on in our advertisements. And so we're going to scroll through those real quick. Natural to Life, if you want to be a vendor or speaker, want to model, we just partner with a modeling agency. If you're a hairstylist and you want to do a style on a model, we are looking for you to help us. If you want to sponsor, we have availabilities for sponsorships. It will be July 4th weekend or Sunday, July 4th, for an outing outside, and it's going to be a nice event and open to the public. And hopefully we're proposing within the city of Atlanta. So call me for details if you want to help initiate plans. We are looking for your help and support on this wonderful, wonderful celebration of life. That's what I call it, Natural to Life. Class medical professional seminar over at our Atlanta, Georgia Academy of Cannabis Science. If you are a medical professional, doctor, nurse, healthcare worker, a caregiver, we want to see you on Saturday, May the 8th for our medical professional seminar from 9:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. This is a half a day and it's only $50. So if you can get your payment in quick, it's only $50. If you wait till the door, the cost will go up at the door. All right. And you can visit www.atlantaacademyofcannabiссcience.com to enroll. All right. We had our students this past Saturday role-playing cannabis dispensary technicians. So medical cannabis dispensary technicians will be opening up around Georgia coming up soon. If you need your education, we have a place for you over at the Atlanta, Georgia Academy of Cannabis Science, now enrolling. All right, so we have a little bit of history here. This was an article that I pulled up called Cannabis, One of the Most Valuable Drugs. This was all the way in 1898. It was a newspaper that talked about how important and how valuable this medicine was. So go ahead and research this. You can find that on the article on our Instagram page at the Holistic Cannabis Show. Mr. Gerald is driving now, so we want to say a big congratulations to our young man. He is learning the whips. He is getting in. He's gotten his driver's permit, and he is ready to roll. So we're just praying for mercy and grace on the road for these babies, and making sure that they, go to work, come home, go to school, come home, and be safe. All right. Again, thanks to Mr. McPhail for coming on the show through Zoom to talk about his paper. And we thank you, nephew, is a wonderful nephew all the way from Texas. Congratulations, nephew. Thanks again for Miss Robin Huff for coming on the show and her Higher Power with CBD gummies, and her other products on her website. Now remember, if you order through us, she's going to give you a discount. It's going to be only $50 with no shipping. So go ahead and order her products. All right, well, we thank you all again for watching the show. Another weekend of wonderful news and information you can use. A big shout out to our May birthdays, and until next week, same time and same place. Peace.
Let's go eat.
Yes, I'm hungry.